So are you ready for the big reveal that we talked about in the last video?
Yes, our dual purpose camper. Here
You
we
ready?
go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple.
Live free. And as we mentioned in the video, our last video, we have a problem with our whole RV situation. See, we have a big trip planned for the fall out west, out to Utah, and we're going to be spending at least a month or more just traveling around out there. But hauling our 32-foot travel trailer with our pickup truck is just too expensive. At 7 miles per gallon, it costs thousands just for gas. And so we got to get something smaller to be able to make that feasible.
So we had actually talked about just, selling the RV and just going with just something smaller. But we still would really enjoy just making a straight trip, like down to Florida, not driving thousands and thousands of miles like a big trip out west, but just go right down to Florida and park the RV and be able to just enjoy being there with the bike and everything for, a month and a half or something like that. We'd really enjoy that. Yeah. But we still need to have some way to be able to move the RV. And, thinking about trying to get something smaller to travel west in, and then we have our truck, and then we have the little car, and then we have the RV. It's getting a little bit too much. That's not living simple.
Yeah, so we would have one smaller camper to take west and then the pickup truck to tow, the travel trailer. It just wasn't workable. So we just came up with the perfect solution, and we are so excited. Are you ready to see our dual purpose camper?
He found it.
I found it.
Yeah, I said he found it. It's our problem solver.
Yep, absolutely. Here you go. Okay, so here we go. Our dual purpose camper. Yeah, it's right there. It's right here. Okay. So that's it. Isn't that cool?
Yep, it is. It is. We're excited. So, how is this a dual purpose camper?
Okay, here we go. It truly is dual purpose. It's an empty cargo van that is a clean slate for us to be able to go in there and completely build out a camper van, so that when we go west, we're going to get considerably better gas mileage. I haven't completely tested it on the highway yet for mileage. When we brought it, we drove down to Raleigh, North Carolina to buy it, and when we brought it back, we were actually towing our car.
Yeah.
Our car is set up with a front tow bar to be towed behind an RV. So we drove the car down, we towed the car back. Towing that car, we got 17.5 miles per gallon on the highway. So now granted, the car isn't as heavy as the trailer, but it certainly affected it some. So I'm expecting to get maybe 19 or 20 on the highway. We'll see with that when it's not towing anything.
Yeah, and it's a diesel. So, we're expecting to get better gas mileage,
Right.
even though diesel costs a little bit more.
Right. So we're going to build it out as a camper van, and then we'll be free to take it on our trip out west. Better gas mileage, much more maneuverable, easier to find places to park it for the night, easier to get into gas stations, all that kind of stuff. And we're really excited about that because it gives us a lot more maneuverability and a lot more ability to just go someplace on a whim.
We have friends that, I'm from the West, and we lived out there for a long time. We have friends we are so excited to see. And I know some of them may be a little tricky to figure out where to put the great big RV.
Right.
And this camper van is going to be easy, very easy.
So that's one purpose. So what is the other purpose? We can actually tow our trailer with it.
He was so excited to realize that. Tell him how many pounds this.
Yeah. So when I was first buying the pickup truck to pull the trailer, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we had a van we could make the van a camper, and then we could also use it to pull the trailer. But when I checked into the towing capacity of Econoline vans, I was very surprised to see that it was considerably less than the Ford pickup truck was. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, the Econoline would be a 250, and the truck's a 250, but the Econoline would not be able to haul the trailer.
Yeah, so an F-250 would haul it, but an E-250 wouldn't. I didn't understand that. But what I'm excited about is that this is an E-350, which helps, but it's got a 6.0 liter diesel engine in it.
Yeah, it's the diesel that makes it so
And because of
beefy.
that, it can tow 9,700 pounds, and our trailer only weighs about 6,000. So when we're towing the trailer, we'll have almost 4,000 pounds to spare.
Yeah, and that's no big deal. That'll be great. That'll be fine.
So we're really excited because we'll be able to use it as a small camper van to go west when we're doing a lot of miles. And then in the winter when we want to go to Florida, we're not doing as many miles, but we want to stay for a long time. Then we can use it to pull the trailer down to Florida or Alabama or South Texas or wherever we want to go, and then stay there for a couple months.
Yeah.
In the big RV, which will be much more comfortable, because you know the camper van is going to do what we need to do, but it's very, very minimalist.
Yeah, you know, I'm willing for an adventure. I mean, when we're traveling like that, as long as I got a good place to sleep and just the things that we need. But I got to admit, if we're going to go be somewhere and just park, and you know that RV really is like a home, and it's really nice to have it. As long as we're not having to haul it all over the place.
Yep.
I'm going to appreciate having it, as well as appreciating having it here. You know,
Right, because like we mentioned before, we use it as a guest cottage when we're here in our driveway. When guests come, we got 3 bedrooms, but they're all into offices and things like that. So
well, we're kind of turning his office sort of into a spare bedroom, but yeah.
But when guests come, then they can stay in the RV without any trouble at all.
Yeah.
So would you like to see a little more detail about the van and what we'll be doing with it? Let me show you. So it is a 2006 Econoline 350 with a 6.0 diesel engine in it. Has 215,000 miles. And we drove all the way to North Carolina to Raleigh to get it, and we paid $6,500 for it. And it's in great shape, not a bit of rust on it anywhere. It's solid when I drive, starts right up. It hums like a how does a diesel hum? Anyway, it runs great. And the more I drive it, the more I love it. We've had it about a week now. It was kind of funny because, like I said, we drove all the way to North Carolina to pick this thing up. And when we got there, we discovered that it is actually an old Virginia DOT highway work van. And we went to North Carolina to get it from Virginia. As you can see, it looks like a work van. It's got the extra reflective stuff on the back, and it's got that light on the top. Now, I was thinking about this. We're not planning on doing a whole lot of stealth camping, you know, camping on a side street in a residential area somewhere. We're not planning on a whole lot of that. But if we do that, if I keep that light on top, that actually kind of makes us more stealthy, even though it kind of stands out a little bit and draws attention as being something a little different. It doesn't look like a camper van, it looks like a work truck. So I'm debating about whether to leave that light up there or not. What do you think? Should I leave it there? Should I take it off? So it currently has that one roof rack right there, and I plan to actually put on 2 more roof racks, one in the center and one in the front, and then I'm going to put plywood all the way across the top, and the plywood will be about this far off the roof. I'll paint it white so it blends in a little bit. What's the purpose of that? It'll keep it considerably cooler, because in the summer when the sun is blazing down on it, instead of the sun hitting that metal and heating it up, the sun will hit the wood and there'll be cooler air going underneath of it. So it'll probably drop the temperature inside 20 degrees or more when it's sitting out in the blazing sun. I'll also be putting probably a fantastic fan in the back. I'll be putting in a dual battery system so that we can run our refrigerator all the time and plug in our computers and stuff. Put in an inverter so we have 110 so we can plug in our computers. I am probably at this time not planning on solar, and here's why. Solar is great for an RV if you're going to go somewhere out in the boonies and park for a couple days. Your batteries will run dry and you need to keep charging them. But I don't really foresee us using this like that very often. I'm going to have the batteries so they charge when the engine runs, put in an isolator switch. And the way that works is when the engine runs, the alternator charges the truck battery, also charges the house battery, but then when you use the house battery for power, it isolates it from the truck battery and it keeps the truck battery from draining, so you can always start the truck. So every time we drive it, it'll charge the batteries. And the reason I'm not really considering solar at this time is because we don't expect to park for a week in BLM land someplace. We'll probably be driving it every day, because even if we find a great place to park, we're going to want to go someplace pretty much every day. And if not, then I can just start the engine and let it idle for a half hour to charge up the battery, the house batteries. So yeah, that's the main infrastructure we'll put into it. And then of course we'll put in a bed and cabinets and a portable toilet, probably a cassette toilet. We were thinking about a composting toilet, but probably a cassette toilet. For one thing, it's considerably cheaper. We'll put in some sort of a cabinet with some cooking facilities and that sort of thing. So I don't know, like I said, it's still an open canvas for us to do whatever we want with it, and we are just getting started with even making the plans. But there you go, our new dual purpose camper van. So here's the interior of the van. For an 06, it's in pretty good shape. It's just got one small spot right there on the seat where it's starting to tear apart a little bit. Seats are very comfortable. It's got one bench seat in the back here, and then all the rest is open. So this is basically an empty canvas that I can do whatever I want to in here. And it's got windows on the side that open. It's got one here, and that one over there also opens. And it's louvered so that I can leave it open even in the rain. That's really important to me. And then if I just put a fantastic fan in the ceiling, it'll draw cool air in from those windows on the side. Should do a good job keeping us ventilated and cool in the evening. There's one spot up there where the headliner's kind of ripped up. But I'm going to have to take the whole headliner down because this is an air conditioner vent that runs right down the center. And I'm going to want to put a fantastic fan right there in the center. So I'm going to have to take the headliner apart and reroute those vents around down the sides so that I can put a fan in the center. I'm also probably going to take out all of this plastic, take it right down to the metal so that I have more room to be able to do, because I'm losing quite a few inches on each side because of all of that stuff. So it's got a lot of work here that needs to be done. It's going to be fun doing it, but I'm not going to be tearing into it full time to get it done fast. I'm just going to do it as I can because I got a lot of other projects to do. We're hoping, I haven't really mentioned on this channel yet, but we're hoping to put the addition onto the house this summer and that sort of thing. So there you have it. Our plans for our new camper van and also for our new tow vehicle for the travel trailer.
You know, and I'm kind of excited that it's a diesel because those engines, we'll take good care of it, and those last and last and last. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Good grief, how many miles did they get out of those semi?
When I first started driving a semi, the truck they gave me was a couple of years old, and it had 450,000 miles on it, and it was still going strong. But the company keeps new vehicles, so they gave me a new one, a brand new one from there. But I rubbed shoulders with a lot of owner-operators who keep the same truck, and many of them with a big diesel engine got 1 million miles on the engine, and then they would rebuild it and get another 800,000 miles on it. So diesel engines are well known for getting long miles, so that's going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, now we have 3 vehicles. We got our little car.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
What?
That I'm going through because now we're getting up to our elbows in vehicles.
Yeah, now we got our little car. It's a Chevy Cavalier, gets 31 miles a gallon. We got our F-250 pickup. We got our E-350 van. We certainly don't need all of them. And since the van can pull the trailer, it is replacing the pickup.
Yes.
So we're going to be downsizing. We're going to be selling the pickup, hopefully for enough money to basically reimburse us for what we paid for the van, and it'll be pretty much straight across swap.
Yeah, it should help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. because as much as we love that truck, it's been a great truck. We just don't need it anymore.
Now, the one thing I will really miss about the truck is the 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Because that's a 4-wheel drive, and of course the van is not, and I enjoy that 4-wheel drive. But there's so many advantages to the van that I'm excited to make this change.
Yeah, I don't know how well I would have done trying to just crawl into the back of a pickup truck for that whole entire trip out west or anywhere else that we try to go.
Right.
This is going to be very workable, and yeah, well, like I said, just get it down to what we bare bones need: a very dual-purpose van, and the little roller skate that we drive around because it's just very dependable and has very good gas mileage. And then the RV will be parked there as a cottage here or with us on some nice trip we can go down and park. I mean, that's just trying to do an overview there, but that's all we need. We don't need to hang on to anything else.
So as I build this camper van, of course I'll take you along, show you what I'm doing. It isn't going to be anything real fancy.
No, it doesn't have to be.
But I'll show you what I'm doing, and it's going to take a while because we have other projects going on as well, and as you'll see coming up here, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so I can't give full time to the van. But realistically, we want to put in a bed and cabinets and a kitchen area and all that kind of stuff eventually. But realistically, for this trip, all we need is a bed to put a platform to put the bed on, and a portable toilet, and a portable camp stove.
Yeah.
So if we had just that, we could make the trip.
Absolutely.
So
it's an adventure.
Yeah, so it's not going to take us all that much to be able to get it ready to go on that trip. And then we'll slowly be building it out with cabinets and all that stuff at some time in the future.
Yep.
So there you go. We are really excited about it.
Oh, he has been beside himself. Like I said, he found this at like 5 o'clock in the morning and about had a conniption fit until he could tell me about it, because he has wanted to have some kind of a camper van to travel in forever.
Yeah.
But we just didn't want to. It just didn't make sense for us to try to get something like that and still have a truck. Instead, this solves what we need very, very well.
Absolutely.
And the thing seems to be just a workhorse. It's running really well. The new big van.
Yep.
It's just running like really, really well. So sounds like a semi.
It does. Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you for enjoying, or for
Hopefully.
for sharing in our excitement.
Yes. Thank you for enjoying. Yes. All righty.
Well, I started to say sharing, and I came out with enjoying instead. So what I was trying to say was thank you for sharing in our excitement.
Yes. In our enjoyness.
Yep.
All righty.
Okay. You be blessed. Live simple.
Live free. All right. We'll keep you up on what's going on.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, guys. Love you.